its shape, angularity, then surface properties, etc. So here we are conducting one experiment known as a shape test to check the importance or to find the importance of the shape of the aggregate which is used for the construction purpose. Shape of the aggregate also determine the strength of the aggregate, because when you're having samples of in the sample, if you're having very long particles, very long aggregates, or when you're having if you're having very thin aggregates, there are, when heavy loads are coming, there are chances that these aggregates get easily crushed under loading conditions, which will reduce the strength of the pavement or even any other construction. So aggregates used for any type of construction purpose should not be very thin or should not be very long. That is, elongated particles or very thin flaky particles are not preferred for any type of construction. Normally, this cubic type of shaped particles are preferred for construction. Flat particles or flaky particles and elongated particles. So what are flaky particles or what are elongated particles? Or when do you say that the particles are flaky, or when do you say that the particles are elongated in nature? So a particle is said to be flaky in nature when the least dimension of the particle is less than 0.6 times its mean dimension. When the least dimension of the particle is less than 0.6 times its mean dimension, it can be said as the flaky particles. So whenever you particles or the aggregates taken for the construction purpose, a sample is taken for testing, and if the flakiness index value is computed, and if it is not coming within the specified range, that has to be neglected, or flaky particles has to be separated also. So particles whose least dimension is less than 0.6 times its mean dimension, that is known as flaky particles. And elongated particles, the particles are said to be elongated particles when the largest dimension, that is usually the length of the particle, if it is more than 1.8 times the mean dimension. It is more than 1.8 times the mean dimension. So when you say about the thickness, it is less than 0.6 times its mean dimension. When you say about the flaky particles, when you say about the elongated particles, when the mean dimension is, when the dimension is more than 1.8 times the mean dimension. The larger dimension is more than 1.8 times the mean dimension. So flaky particles and elongated particles. And this experiment is conducted for particles which are greater than 6.3 mm size. Other than that, this experiment is not preferred. So experiment is, to conduct the experiment, you have, first of all, you have to sieve the aggregate, you have to separate the aggregates. Then after collecting samples of specific size range, you need two more equipments to conduct the experiment. First one is the thickness gauge. So this is the thickness gauge. Soil sample is passed through passed through this gauge and check whether the aggregate is passing through this thickness gauge. We can pass the aggregate by a different manner, by different position, and by any chance if the particle is going through this slit, that is considered as the flaky particle. So this one is the thickness gauge, and to conduct the elongation index test, you need one more equipment, that is known as the length gauge. So this is the length gauge. A simple flat plate with some rods are attached to the plate. So these rods are placed at specific intervals. They have the mean dimension. So to conduct the experiment, you first of all you have to sieve the aggregate. For that you need the set of sieves. Then you require the thickness gauge and the length gauge and the weighing machine. These are the equipments needed for the experiment. So to conduct the experiment, you need soil samples. Soil sample is taken from which you have arranged sieves of standard sizes in a manner which such that the larger sieves are coming on the top. So these are the sieves arranged 63 mm, 50 mm, 40 mm, then 25 mm, 20 mm, 16 mm, 12.5 mm, 10 mm, and 6.3 mm. So these are the sieves arranged. So sieves are arranged in order. So larger size sieves are arranged on the top, and as you go down, smaller size sieves are coming. So the entire aggregates are placed on the top of the on the top sieve, and it is proper shaking is given. Usually shaking is given for 15 minutes or so. The only idea is that you should get sufficient number of aggregates in each sieve. You should give sufficient number of aggregates in each sieve. That's the only condition. So sieves are arranged in order. Aggregates are placed on the topmost sieve, and sieving is done. And after sieving, you have to collect the sample from each sieve. You have to collect sample from each sieve. Usually 20 samples or 25 number of aggregates. 25 number of samples are taken. So suppose you are having a sieve set of 50 mm and 40 mm. So aggregate passing through 50 mm and retained on 40 mm. That is 20 in number. Then aggregate passing through 40 mm and retained on 25 mm. That is again 20 mm, 20 numbers. Then aggregate passing through 25 mm and retained on 20 mm. Again 20 number. Likewise, you have to collect the sample separately. You have to collect the sample separately. So for each sieve set, you have to collect 20 number of samples. So keep them separately. Keep them separately. After giving proper sieving, collect specific number of samples from each sieve set. From each sieve set, collect specific number of samples and keep them separately. Then you can do either the flakiness index test or elongation index test. So first step is the separation of soil sample, which is passing through one sieve and returned on another sieve. So we'll be having different set of samples. So first you have to prepare the samples separately. Then we can go for the First you can go with the flakiness index test. So this one is the thickness gauge. So we have collected 20 samples, which is passing through. Suppose you have collected sample passing through 40 mm sieve and retained on 25 mm sieve. That sample is passed through the corresponding slit. So this is not clear. This one is a little bit more clear. So this slit corresponding to 40 mm, 40 to 25. 40 to 25 means aggregate passing through 40 mm sieve and retained on 25 mm sieve. So that is the slit corresponding to that group of aggregates. The next one, aggregate passing through 25 mm sieve and retained on 20 mm. So this is a slit corresponding to that group of aggregates. So likewise, you have collected 20 number of samples, and that set of aggregates are passed through the slit one by one. Aggregates are passed through the corresponding slit one by one. So this is how you pass the aggregate through the corresponding slit. So aggregates are kept as a group. Then you should try with each sample. If you have 20 number of samples, or if you have 25 number of samples, or even 100 number of samples, you have to check the flakiness of each sample separately. So each sample is allowed to pass through the corresponding slit, and if the aggregate is passing through the corresponding slit, that is kept separately, and aggregates which are not passing through the slit, that are kept separately. Suppose you have 20 number of samples in which 7 aggregates are passing through the slit, they are kept separately, and balance 13 samples, they are not passing through the slit, they are kept separately. Okay. So then each of them are weighed, that is aggregates passing through the slit is weighed and its weight is noted. So that is corresponding to one slit. Similarly, for other sieve set also, that is aggregate passing through 25 and 20. That is passed through the corresponding slit and flaky particles are separated. They are weighed separately. Its weight is noted. Then another group of sample is taken. They are passed through the corresponding slit in the thickness gauge, and weight of the aggregates passing through the slit are weighed separately. Which are not passing through the slit, they are also weighed separately. So likewise, the entire set of aggregates are passed through the corresponding slit, and weight of the aggregate passing through each slit is taken. That is to determine the flakiness index. And we can go to the calculation part. So this is, I think it is clear. I don't know whether you can read the tabular form. This is there in your manual. So aggregate passing through sieve size is specified, aggregate returned on sieve size is specified. Weight of the fraction consisting of at least 200 pieces. Given 200 pieces. So you can take according to IS specifications. So the total weight of the aggregates passing through 63 mm ISE and retained on 50 mm ISE. So the total weight of aggregate is noted down. Then weight of the aggregate in each fraction passing through the thickness gauge. That is also noted down. That is, the weight of the flaky particles are noted down. Total weight of the aggregates is written here. Then weight of the aggregate passing through the thickness gauge is written here. Similarly for other sieve set also. 50 to 40, 40 to 25. This 31.5 sieve set is not used in our laboratory normally. Then 25 to 20, 20 to 16, 12.5, 10 likewise. The last one 10 to 6.3. So the total weight of aggregates are noted down. The weight of aggregates passing through the thickness gauge is also noted down. Then its cumulative weight is, its total weight is taken. Sigma W, that is the weight of the total aggregates, W1 plus W2 plus W3 etc. to W9. The total weight of aggregates are noted down. Then total weight of aggregates passing through the thickness gauge corresponding to each sieve set, that is also calculated. Sigma capital W and sigma small w, that is noted down. Then the flakiness index is computed as sigma small w divided by sigma capital W into 100. So computed the flakiness index value. Then we have to do the elongation index test. For that, so this is the length gauge. So here also you can see the sieve, number of sieve is specified here, 40 to 50, 50 to 31.5, 25 to 20, 20 to 16 likewise. The sieve specification is given. So the aggregate passing through 50 mm ISU and which is retained on 40 mm ISU. So the grouping of aggregates, everything is same as that of the that for the flakiness index test. So the aggregates are kept separately. Then each aggregate is passed through the length gauge lengthwise. So when you are doing the flakiness index test, the aggregates are passed in such a way that the least the thickness is, the aggregates are passing through. You are checking whether the aggregates are passing through the thickness gauge. That means the thinner dimension will be kept parallel to the slit, or the thickness is kept parallel to the slit. So here the particles are passed through the length gauge in such a way that the largest dimension is coming parallel to this nodes. So from each set, we have to pass all samples through the corresponding slit, and But in any case, if any sample is retained in any sieve set, that has to be kept separately. Particles are allowed to move through the slit lengthwise, and if any particle or any aggregate is retained in the sieve, that are kept separately. Then, just like the previous one, we have to take the total weight of the aggregates retained on that length gauge. So if you are taking 50 to 45 gauge, that group of sample is taken. Each sample is allowed to pass through pass between the nodes. Then if the particles are retained within the gauge, that is kept separately. Then finally, the weight of the aggregates after passing the either the 20 or 200 number of samples, the total weight of the sample retained on the length gauge, that is measured separately, and that is entered in the table of M. So here you can see. So this is the column corresponding to elongation index, weight of the aggregate in each fraction retained on length gauge. So in the flakiness index test, we are checking whether the particles are flaky in nature, whether they are passing through the slit. Here, we are checking the length of the aggregate, whether the aggregates are long enough, or whether the particles or the aggregates are elongated so that they are not suitable for the construction. So, long particles are separated and their weight is noted down. For each sieve set, the weight of the aggregates are noted down. Then its cumulative weight is also taken. Weight of the elongated aggregates retained on each sieve, that is also taken. Retained on the length gauge, that is also taken. Then you can compute the elongation index value also. The elongation index value is computed as total weight of elongated aggregates. That means aggregates retained on the length gauge, then the total weight of aggregates into 100. So you are getting the elongation index also. So you computed flakiness index and elongation index. Then the flakiness index value and elongation index value is checked separately and checked whether they are according to the IS specification there, and their combined value, combined flakiness and elongation index value is also checked with the IS specification. And as per IS specification, the combined value, combined flakiness and elongation index value should not be more than 30%. And if it is more than that value, aggregates are considered to be not suitable for the construction of pavement. 35%. Flakiness and elongation index value combined maximum 35% as per IS specification. So flakiness value, elongation index value, they are found separately. Then they are added up to get the total combined flakiness and elongation index value, and its IS specification is also given, and that is the obtained value is checked with the IS specification, and if it is coming within the specification, that can be used for the construction purpose, road construction. Otherwise, it is rejected. Can I stop? If the students are having any doubts, you can ask.